Hello and welcome back to another Minecraft Let's Play video by me, FoxyNoTail, here on Truly Bedrock Season 4. If you are not aware of what this giant hole is behind me, then you haven't seen my previous episode, or maybe you have seen it, but you skipped through a little bit and didn't watch it all, hey? I don't know. Anyway, if you don't know, we built a big hole and we built an amazing, fun furnace array. And unfortunately, what we didn't do was to work on the moss farm, which we also didn't do a couple of episodes ago. So it is time that I dedicated an entire episode to a moss farm and don't add in all of the other things that take away from doing it. We are making a moss farm today and we're going to do something interesting. What's interesting? Tell me. Well, I bet you were all thinking we were just going to find a new space down here and build it down here somewhere, weren't you? Yeah. Well, I'm not. Let me just fly out of my hole a moment. Excuse me. Ow. I want another new building, a little bit like this one, but somewhere else on our outside area for our base, and I would like to put the moss farm inside it. There isn't much room in here. There's not very much room at all. Now, this is a micro wheat farm. If you haven't seen the video on that, it works incredibly well. But yeah, there is not much room in there for a moss farm. And that's because if you're a total lunatic like me and like to build over-the-top things that are just way too powerful, you may have built or designed a moss farm like this, which is basically a stone generator with a few blocks of moss that get bone mealed by dispensers, and then that turns all of the stone into moss blocks. They all then get broken. All of the stuff on top gets pushed away by pistons, which get picked up by 3 hopper minecarts, which then distribute them into 2 hopper lines. But the problem with this is, it doesn't matter how much I slow it down, the thing just backs up too much. And, although it does fit in within a chunk, it's no way going to fit in one of those little buildings for us. Now, it might not be the fastest moss farm in the world, but it's a pretty good one. And as much as I like it, it is way too big. And like I said, it does back up. I ran this for about 10 minutes earlier, and I had items just backing up all the way along these hopper lines, which was just ridiculous. And I slowed it right down a result to try and stop it from doing that. But then I just realized, what's the point in building such a big one if you're just going to slow it down again? So I, of course, built a smaller one that I think would fit inside that little house. And I've built this as small as I possibly can whilst maintaining a reasonable rate and having a semi-decent farm. And if we turn this one on, it's all timed to perfection. So we get a nice, reasonable rate here from the stone. If we go too fast on this, bearing in mind it is possible to get cobblestone in there, which won't get turned by the moss, which just block up the whole system. So it is still a little bit slow, but that's just to make sure that we guarantee to get stone, and then all of this moss just gets grown, turned into moss blocks, and then broken, and it all ends up down here in this hopper minecart or in these hoppers, and it fills up this chest. The build itself is 7 blocks by 7 blocks by 5 blocks tall. And in here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 just by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it will literally fill this building. The chest would be at the door here. There would be no way in to get around it, so it might be a little bit tight. So we might want to consider a slightly larger building for this one, which means I need to now come up with an entire new building design and think about where I'm going to put this. Now, my original plan was to have that down there, and up here I wanted a little, like, a cow farm and a goat farm and a pig farm, and I wanted like a woodcutter's house on the hill, which is why we grew loads of trees on top of that hill. There's no reason why we couldn't plonk it down in the middle of the nowhere, but I haven't come up with the actual plan for where all the paths and everything's going to be, and I think if I do that, then I'm just going to have to be working around it rather than it being in the right place. So I think I'll probably, assuming the chunk borders are okay, remove these pigs or move these pigs out the way a little bit and build it in this space here, potentially. Possibly. We'll see. It's bedtime anyway. Go to sleep. I'm going. Before we do any of that, though, there's a couple of things we need to do. One of those is to go all wibbly as we go through into the nether. Oh, which way do we go? In order to check our shops, because I believe... Oh, yes, look at that. We have been making some sales. This is good news. We've sold iron. We've sold lots and lots of bones, and we've sold some string as well. This is absolutely fantastic. 51 diamonds, don't mind if I do. And the other thing I want to check is our mob farms, and more specifically, the squid farm. Oh, let me in. And that is because Big Chicken had been, he's not anymore, he's wandered off again, but he had been AFK at our new AFK spot for a very long time. Oh, there's a zombie on it. Very long time. So I'm hoping, I haven't actually checked myself yet, but I'm hoping we're going to have some squid ink there, and I'm hoping we should have lots more things in the mob farm. So let's check the mob farm first. Many gunpowder, many gunpowder, many gunpowder, many gunpowder. Oh my goodness, we're into the top chest of gunpowder. We don't have any on the other side though, but geez, that's a lot of gunpowder. I don't think we need to run this farm much more. Bones is what I've actually come for because I need to restock bones, so that's good. And if I've got that much gunpowder, is bones at the top? It is. Bones is at the top. String is at the top. Does that mean I've got loads of Wow. I clearly didn't have many witches in that time period, but we've got a lot of empty bottles and a lot of spider eyes as well. Amazing. Well, that's fantastic. Well, while those bones filter into those shulker boxes there, I am going to go and see if we got any squid ink. Come on. Give me a full double chest. It was there hours. If this was a proper good squid farm, yeah, wow! Nearly a double chest with the squid. You have no idea how happy I am with that, because this has been an absolute bane of my existence, this farm. So much so that one of my commenters even believes that I'm trolling them. I'm not trolling you. Wouldn't serve me any purpose to troll you about how bad a farm is performing, is it? But I have had a few comments now saying to make the water a bit deeper, like I did with the glow squid farm, and that should hopefully increase the rate. So I will do that. But before I do that, the other thing I should probably do is just make it bigger. We've only got one chunk here, so we really are limited in how much squid can actually spawn just in that sense. If we made this 4 chunks, then we get loads more squid, potentially. But do I really want to waste time building this when most of the time it doesn't work? First things first, we're going to make the squid farm water a bit deeper. I'm not going to make it bigger right now. We'll just see if making it deeper makes any difference. Then we're going to go restock all of the shop stuff. And then we'll look at designing a nice new building for our moss farm. Thought you said you weren't giving yourself many things to do today. Ah, shut up. I'll do what I want. I haven't brought my ender chest with me again. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh. Is there an ender chest down here? There is a double chest full of shears, but no ender chest. Of course there isn't. Why would there be an ender chest? Okay, I've been home. I have my ender chest. I've only got 1 bucket. Oh, jeez. Hang on a minute. I need to go get another bucket from home. Jeez. There we go. Bunch of buckets. Excellent. Okay, I got my ender chest. I got some buckets, but oh, jeez. I didn't bring any water. Where am I supposed to get water from round here? Oh, I can't believe... No, go back again, jeez. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, good. Finally, I have my ender chest, I have buckets, and the buckets contain water. Now all I need is the glass to go around the outside of that thing, and I should have plenty of glass inside of my ender chest. Oh, jeez. It's all in your new storage system. I know. Dear magical sorting system, please give me some glass. There we go. Perfect. Thank you very much. I'll take it. Finally. Right. Back again. I now think I have every single ingredient I need in order to make this work. I cannot believe there's anything else that I'm missing from this. If there is, then forget it. It's just not going to happen. Well, I'm getting good at this now. I'm expert level 99 water splatter rounderer. Oh, look at that. I'm like a machine gun. There we go. 4 layers done. This is perfect. And the really good news is I'm not stuck at all, mate. I can get out of here whenever I... Oh, jeez. I'm completely stuck. Get me out. I can't even get on that block. Okay, right. Break that block and then swim up. Oh, nearly. Go as fast as I can. Swim up. Oh, I nearly. I'm stuck. Not again. Where's Chuck when you need him? Chuck, Big Chicken, anyone come fetch me some slabs. They're not here today. Oh, jeez. I don't think this is going to work at all. But what if I make a little thing like that? Sneak in here. Oh, I thought that might get rid of the bubble columns. It hasn't. Oh, yes. Oh, come on. I was so close then. I just need to glitch into something, please, for a moment. I don't want to break the wall because then it'll all go into my system below and all of the minecart rail will break and then I'll be sad. Oh, I'm stuck. I'm proper stuck. Help! 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 It's a very stuck and lost FoxyNoTail. Ah! Oops. Oh, well, I guess I'm going to have to go out there now. Seems I broke it. Oh, it didn't go on my minecart track. This is good news. Excellent. I should have done that from the start, really, shouldn't I? Okay, now for the next part of my plan. Flan, I was going to say. Then it's not my flan at all, but it is my plan to steal all of these ink sacs. They're yours. They're not stealing them. You know what I made? Not putting them in here. And now we've done that, it's time for a 5-minute rate test. And I will do it at the proper thingy one, although it seems that that one actually provides us with... Wow, we'll go to this one. We'll go to this one. That's absolutely fine. And we'll give it a go, and we'll see how it gets on for 5 minutes. I saw them. I saw squid spawn. Then they were... Look, more are spawning. It's actually working. This is great news. Oh, yes. I can see you hiding there under there, collecting items. Who do you think you are? Get out of me mob farm. Okay, the time is up. Let's see. I can see there's some ink sacs there waiting to be collected. So let's hop down. See what we got. Come on, little hopper minecart. Pick those last ink sacs up. I want to count them because they were squid that spawned within that time. There's more there, look. Bear in mind, when I built this farm on a test world at Y320, I got about 2.5 stacks in 5 minutes. I think it was that many. So I'm expecting now that we've got all of this water, things are going to be good. So here goes. I'm going to look in the chest. A stack. Well, like I said, it's better than before. It's not, it's not amazing, but it's better than before. And good news, while I was waiting, my bones are now ready, which is great, which means I should hopefully have I thought I had another empty shulker box on me that I could shove under there, but apparently I didn't. I think I used them to put the ink in, didn't I? Oh, geez. Oh, well, there's just not going to be any shulker boxes on there for a while. That's fine. Let's go restock the shop and then go design a little hut to go around our moss farm. And there we go. The shop is fully restocked. We have everything back in, which is absolutely fantastic. Let's go. Woo! It's been a good day already. Apart from all that backwards and forwards into the mob farm that you did because you kept forgetting things. Well, apart from that, yeah. But let's not focus on the bad. Let's focus on the good. Oh. That was weird. Well, as we all know, I am a total moron. I've been flying around my creative test world for ages looking for the design of the little house that we built for the wheat farm. But I didn't build it in this world. So, you know, I'm not going to find it, am I? That's because I built it in this world, which is the world that is TB, but yeah, it's not quite the same. But you can see kind of what I was talking about earlier, where we've got like a little building here for a farm, a little building here for a farm. We've got a thing up here which would go to where a woodcutter would live. We've got a little town down there and all that sort of stuff. And this is the one we built for the wheat farm. And I want to build something very similar for the moss farm, although something like this that's got like a couple of layers, although this just looks completely wrong. It looks so wrong because the top bit's so massive compared to the bottom bit. But this done right might not be a bad idea because you could have the storage at the bottom and then you could have the farm working at the top. But yeah, whichever, we need to redesign it and make it different and make it fit. And there we go. Thanks to the magic of structure blocks, we now have them both in my test world. Hooray! I want to do something fancy now. Apparently, you can animate them on place by block. I've never done it before. Let's do it for 20 seconds. Go. Maybe because it was already there. Let's do another one. Go. Oh. Wow, that went well. Good job, game. I don't want to alarm anyone, but the door just fell off. Oh no. All the sides have fallen off. Well, it works really well, this animation. Oh no, my lanterns fell off. It was fancy. But it didn't work ever so good. It were brilliant, I'll tell you that for nothing. I want to do another one now. All right, let's do one more. Just gonna have a world full of these things. I want to animate it by layer. 20 seconds. Ready, go. What could go wrong? Oof. Wow, okay. Oh, it's a bit slow now. Maybe 20 seconds was too long. The door fell off again for no particular reason. I don't understand why. The signs didn't fall off. This is good news. Will the lanterns fall off? Yes, because they'll be there without anything to hold on to. Yeah, the lanterns fell off. Jeez. But otherwise, dun, 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 what an amazing time lapse. You're welcome. We now got 3 buildings to work with. That's absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much, Structure Blogs. You've been a big help. I think Jeff was in charge of those animations. I'm just saying. Thanks, Jeff. Oh, you're welcome, mate. Top-notch animations there, Jeff. If you do the animations twice, the stuff will stick on the second time. Yeah, that's a good point, Jeff. And now I realize I've made these in a really awful place to try and make them bigger. I need to make them bigger, and I've stuck them all so close to each other. I've got no room, so I'm going to have to start the entire thing from scratch anyway, which means it was pointless adding those in, but not to worry. At least we've got plenty of copies to copy from. Oh, goody. While we're messing with structure blocks, it might not be a bad idea to actually test how well the moss farm fits. As you can see, I have a moss farm structure loaded in here, and if I hit the load button, we will... Wow, okay. Yeah, it's tight. It's a tight fit. It's also rotated the wrong way round, so that the chest is in the wrong place. Just let me see if I can fix that. One moment, please. Okay, there we have the moss farm fully inside this thing. It is now all the way to the back. And if we look at the front of this thing, there is just about room to get in. So we could do it in the same size building, but I do feel that that would be a little bit silly. I do think we should make the building as big as we can to make sure this thing fits in properly, and also to make it easy to, you know, problem solve and diagnose issues with it, should there happen to be any at any point. And here we go. It's a bit of a bigger beast than the other ones, but it's good. I like it. It's got the same sort of feel and design. It shouldn't stand out too much. It should feel like it's in place. And if we go inside, there is a reasonable amount of room. There's still that thing that is right in your face still. We need to do something with that so it's not quite so awkward. But if we go down this side, we've got a little space for some storage and barrels and things. We can actually go round the back. I might actually push it back a couple of blocks in the actual real world when we do it, so it's not quite as in your face when you come through the door. And then again, down this side, we've got some more space for some storage and things like that, should we need it. So, plenty of space, plenty of storage, and plenty to be getting on with in terms of building, because it's a big one. Oh, it's a big one. We need to discover where it's actually going to fit. And the way that I'm going to do that is to export the new structure that we just made as a structure file. And I'm going to load up a relatively old world download of Truly Bedrock Season 4. You can see this is one of the ones that I've been making thumbnails from, and this is a perfect spot for us to decide where this build is going to fit. So we could put it there. I mean, it's going to destroy those pigs, but it will kind of fit in that space and not stick out too much. So that's possibly not a bad space for it, sorry. So let's load it in there and see. I don't know, that it just feels a little bit pushed out the way and tucked out the way. I feel like it should maybe be a bit more this way, possibly. Okay, so an alternative to this, although it's probably a little bit far over that way still, is that we could, I don't know if I'm going to get this the right way round or not, possibly not, but we could spin it round. Almost. It's the wrong way round, but you get the idea. We could put it more there like that, which I think isn't such a bad idea. That gives us a little bit more space to do more farmlandy stuff around here and maybe have some animals. And it gives us, yeah, that kind of fits in a bit better, but maybe a few more blocks this way again. Now, loading it in hopefully the right way round this time, although the trapdoors have all broken, but, oh, and it's a block too far in the floor. But that's not bad. And to be honest with you, being a block too far in the floor does give us an opportunity to do something with this very, very flat landscape. I actually like the idea this season that I am going to make the terrain more interesting and have different variated Y levels. You can see down there I've made it really, really flat, but I have done my best to sort of terrace and smooth this out. And I do want to work with angled terrain rather than just doing my usual flatten everything out, so that could work. So here we are back on the Truly Bedrock survival server. I guess this can only mean one thing. It's time for a time lapse. Let's build this thing. Do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Totally building this legitimately. Do-do-do. Placing all the blocks in. Do. It's easy to do. Do. Putting the trapdoors in the wrong place, but it's fine. And it was all going so swimmingly too. Oh, jeez. How did it play? Oh, I mean, it's not real, guys. The whole time lapse was fake. Couldn't you tell? God, I'm still on a creative copy of Truly Bedrock. God, every time I get you, it's so easy. Jeez. Right, anyway, I better actually go back on Truly Bedrock and get this built. Oh, jeez. Anyway, actually back on Truly Bedrock Season 4 now. We don't believe you. It's fine, you don't have to believe me. I need some cobblestone. I need probably maybe a little bit more than that. I don't think I need more than that, but I'm going to take some anyway. I need some smooth stone. I need a little bit of andesite. I need stone brick, which... Oh, I'll take the stone brick stairs. Oh, I do have stone brick. That's good. I'll take a couple of blocks of those. I need tough blocks, which I don't need many of, so we'll just take one stack. And then I need a whole bunch of wood, mainly spruce. And I have no spruce. And the other one I need is oak. And I got no oak. Oh, geez, really? Have I got nothing? Nothing. I'll take a crafting table. That'll be handy. Okay, I did have some logs in this one here. Have I still got them? I've got a little bit of spruce, but still no oak in there. I've got 42 pieces of oak. Oh, it might be enough. I doubt it, though. Are you going to do a time lapse? I just did one, but I was fake. It's still a time. Stop asking me. You're always asking me for stuff. Just let me get on, jeez. So you're just going to build it and then show us you built it? Yes. That's boring. You're boring. Shut up. Okay, before we get started, just to be on the safe side, I'm going to chop as much oak as I can very quickly in my very, very rubbish little rudimentary original tree farm. 19 logs. Oh no, I got a stack of 19 logs. I think I'm going to need a little bit more than that though. But of course my saplings are hiding in one of these shulker boxes somewhere. Jeez, which one's it going to be? Nobody knows. Or not. I can't find them anywhere. There's only one oak sapling that I can find, is that one there. So we're going to have to hope that we get some more oak saplings back from that one, which means I'm going to need my my hoe that's got fortune on it. That one. Oh jeez. Oh, bone meal. I'm going to need bone meal. Okay, I got myself almost 3 stacks of oak logs. I just need a few spruce saplings now. No, not saplings. Okay, so I managed to get myself a whole bunch of spruce logs. No, I didn't. It's oak logs. Jeez. Okay, so I managed to get myself a whole bunch of oak logs. I just need some spruce logs now, and then we're all set. One thing I don't really want to do, though, is make a big mess making pods all everywhere. Although I guess I'm probably going to be building in this particular bit here, so it wouldn't hurt too much to grow a couple of spruce trees here. But yeah, I don't really want pods all over my base now that I've got it all looking nice and neat. So I think I'm going to sneak off towards where Mr. Beardstone lives and do some spruce growing, some growing of trees over here. He'll never know. It's fine. Shh, don't tell him. And there we go. I have a whole bunch of spruce now as well, and this area is like I've never been. Let's go home quickly before we're discovered. it is a little bit rough around the edges still, particularly on the outside. There's absolutely nothing on the inside, and you might have just noticed there I'm missing a little bit of glass as well. But yeah, on the majority, this thing is completely done, and I'm very happy with it. I think it looks great, and I think it fits the size and the place where we wanted it to go. It doesn't look too overbearing. I think it's great. Okay, well, this is weird. Terraforming this terrain a little bit to make it all match. I have just found a pig and a chick. Oh my goodness, I've found a lot of things in a hole. Huh. Wow, okay. That's a lot of things in one little hole. Okay, again, this still isn't perfect, but I've done a little bit of work around the edges to add some sort of, well, as if it's just been worn down and there's a lot of people walking around it, I guess. The other thing I want to do is add some light in it. And I don't know if you noticed in the time crap. In the what now? I mean, don't know if you noticed in the time lapse, but a creeper went off. And obviously we had a bunch of stuff underground over there a minute ago. So I think lighting is probably going to be a very good idea. And I think the easiest way to do this is just to have things like lanterns kicking about. That's probably fine. We could probably have some barrels with lanterns on in places, but there's plenty of place to hang stuff on this particular designs. And that pile of barrels there can have another lantern on there, brighten up the back. Nice. Now all I got to do is build the farm inside it. Okay, getting prepared for this farm build, it has suddenly occurred to me that I've forgotten to do something incredibly important, and it's very, very late now. Smart people in the comments will probably already know. And that is that I have completely forgotten to think about chunk aligning this farm. Now, it does use a hopper minecart, which means it could despawn if it goes across chunk boundaries. Which it just might do. Oh, jeez. And, you know, the pistons and stuff and hoppers are all looking like they could potentially be going across chunk lines as well. Oh, no. Oh, we almost... I mean, if I'd built it 3 more blocks to the left. Really? 3 more blocks to the left? Oh, well, I guess we'd have to put up with yet more disappearing minecarts and problematic redstone. What a shame. Oh, jeez. I'm not rebuilding it. There's no way I'm rebuilding it. I built it in creative twice and in survival once. I'm not doing it again. No. So building this farm should be pretty simple. You don't actually need all that much stuff. The main ingredient is obsidian, pistons, a dispenser, a few hoppers, a couple of observers, and just your general redstone bits and bobs. The rest of it is either glass or just blocks that don't turn into moss. You know, it'd be nice to have a bit of light in here before we actually get started. Let's stick a few torches around the area. So we're going to have 5 pieces of obsidian across the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In front of those, we are going to have 5 pistons. We do actually need to punch a hole in this obsidian because we need an observer facing down into it, which means we need to place it from above. So you need to put a block there, grab yourself an observer, have it facing into that, and then put your obsidian back on top of that observer. Then run a line of redstone across that obsidian, and then we can wrap all of these pistons with glass. And the redstone is basically just a clock, a very, very simple clock. We want 2 repeaters on 1 tick, or the default, and we want 2 repeaters on 4 ticks, like that. We want one of those going into a block like that. On the other side of that, we're going to have a redstone torch, but we don't want that clock going yet, so stick a piece of redstone dust on the floor there, put a block next to that, and another one on top of that, and another piece of redstone torch just there, and this is going to be our on and off switch for the entire system. So now, if we flick that, we can turn the system on. And we flick it again, we're going to turn the system on. Next, we're going to extend our glass by another block, but not at the top. And then we're going to extend it again by 1 more block. And then we need to get up there, because what we need to do then is put blocks there and then bring that back over the top there like that. And our lava's going to go here. But before we put any of those in, we need to put in some temporary blocks, and ideally we want to be either using moss or stone for this bit. 1 moment, please. I didn't bring any moss with me. Whee! Ow. So yeah, we'll use moss for now. We're just going to put moss there, and that's just going to stop the water and the lava from flowing out while we're building the rest of this thing. The next thing is we're going to need 5 buckets of water, because we're going to have to painstakingly waterlog every single one of those pistons. Fortunately for me, I have a water source 5 miles away from where I'm building. This will take no time at all. And 5. Okay, that's all done. And then all we're going to do is stick 1 lava bucket's worth of lava just there. And that should turn all of that water into stone in a minute. And there we go. That's all stone now. So this is pretty much safe. On top of that lava, we're actually going to put some more glass like this. And I've just realized that I've been a total moron already. Can you believe it? FoxyNoTail a moron? No, never. Yeah, we don't follow this tutorial exactly. Figure it out yourself, because I've done it wrong. We actually wanted this front row of glass here to be more pistons, which means potentially getting lava all over ourselves. I'm sure we'll be fine. There we go. Oof. And on top of those pistons, we want some solid blocks that don't turn into moss. Oh man, we're well on our way to a fully functioning moss farm here. We're going to extend our redstone line on top of those as well from the back there, which means that when the clock works, all of those pistons are going to fire now. And we've now got a stone generator that is generating stone, but we don't want loads of stone, so stop, please. Thank you. Okay, the moss is going to be there, and on the other side of the moss, we're actually going to have some more obsidian to stop the stone generator pushing the entire thing so far and breaking through our building. Now, this is the slightly complicated part, and this is the moss part. We're going to have one moss block right in the middle on that front line of obsidian. We're going to put a dispenser facing into that moss block just there. And coming out the back of that dispenser, we're going to have a hopper. And on top of that hopper, we're going to put a double chest. Next to that double chest, we're going to put our last piston, which is going to go there. And now we need to do some weird jiggery-pokery to try and get an observer facing upwards above that dispenser, which means dropping down, putting a block above it, and not putting it there like that. Come on, observer. It's very easy. I just need you to face upwards. It's not a difficult thing. Why are you not facing upwards? I am literally right below you. There we go. Like that. I did it first time. Then you can get rid of that block on top, and we're going to continue the glass. So we're basically going to cover the side of that moss there, and we're going to bring it up that side. We're going to cover the side of that moss there, and we're going to go down this scaffolding, apparently. Bring it up this side. We're going to put glass there next to that moss block, and we're going to put glass there next to that one. Then we're going to put a piece of glass there, and some more glass above the top of those moss blocks like that, and one final piece of glass there above that piston. And all we're going to do now is just bring that redstone here, one piece onto the observer and one piece onto that piston, which means that the piston will fire at a different speed to the dispenser, which means the dispenser will bone meal that moss block, and then that piston will instantly fire, breaking the stuff on top of it, allowing it to be bone mealed again. All we need now is our output system. So at the front here, I'm going to just put a couple of temporary blocks, and I'm going to put our chest. This is where our items are going to come out. And do you know what? Let's actually have it lined up with our bone meal chest. Why not? There's no harm in doing that. And now we're just going to use a whole bunch of hoppers. You don't need to use as many as I'm going to use here. You could get away with less, but I'm going to put 2 there. I'm going to put 2 more there facing into those, and I'm going to bring those all the way along the back there. And I'm going to put another solid block at the end of those hoppers there like that. Now, I think we might have just got away with having this hopper minecart within the whole chunk. Let me go get our little man. Oh, it's bedtime. Come on, game. Yes, the hopper minecart is not going to cross a chunk border. Neither is any of the redstone. This is good news. I have made good decisions building this farm. All we need now is one more lever. We can put it there. One piece of powered rail, another piece of powered rail, and then, well, you can either put just like normal rail in the middle, but I'm going to be lazy and put an extra piece of power rail there because I only had 2 pieces of normal rail, and then just put your hopper minecart there, and that, I believe, apart from adding some bone meal, is this farm done. If I flick that lever, that hopper minecart's going to go backwards and forwards, which would potentially collect everything that lives up there. The stone generator is generating stone. It's not turning into moss because I've got no bone meal, but it can't go anywhere because I've got obsidian on both sides, which means all we need now is a little bit of bone meal. But unfortunately, all of my bones is for sale, so I haven't got any. There we go. One quick dash to the mob farm later, and we now have 5 shulker boxes with the bones to play with. Excellent. Right, now time to make lots and lots of bone meal and put it all in the system. And here we go. The entire thing is full. Dispenser, hopper, and chest. I've even got a little bit of bone meal left over, so there's no there's no lime like the present. Oh, jeez. There's no... Oh, let's just... So there's no time like the present. Let's give this a test. I want to get in a position where we can see this thing working. And we still need to decorate a lot of this room, but that's fine. Let's go. It turned to moss. The moss broke. This is working. This is excellent. I've no idea how fast it is. I haven't done any rate tests, so I guess that's probably what I should do now. Okay, the chest is empty and the timer is set. We're going to go for 5 minutes. 3, 2, 1, go. I'm trying to do a rate test and decorate at the same time, and creepers just keep appearing. Go away. Leave me alone. All I wanted was a plant pot. I don't think I own any plant pots. I wish I had plant pots. Got no clay. 3, 2, 1. The timer is going off. Now, I have done some very rudimentary decoration here. I don't like it at all. I just... Anyway, so I put some barrels there. I put a little bit of a pile of moss there with a azalea bush on it. I wanted it in a plant pot, but I haven't got any plant pots. I put a little cupboard in here with a barrel in with nothing in there as well. But that's not what you're interested in. You want to know how many millions of items this farm does per hour, right? Okay, after doing the maths, I can confirm that this farm will do 20,000 items per hour, which is 315 stacks per hour, or 11.7 chests per hour. That is what we got from 5 minutes. So in 10 minutes, this chest's going to be pretty much entirely full, and there's not going to be room for anything else. I think that's good enough for a small moss farm. Jeez. No, not again, no! On my shulker boxes, creepers! Where do you come from? For goodness sake, stop it! Jeez. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. Okay, so back to my book of many things. I can successfully tick off Moss Farm. We've actually completed all of the tasks that I set myself to do today. This is absolutely fantastic. It feels good. It feels good to tick every single thing that I set myself off to do. All those things. You only set one thing? Yes, it feels good to have finished them all. It's not all, it's just one. Yes, it feels very good. Very good, if I don't mind saying so myself. You going to fix that creeper hole? Yes, I'm going to go get items for it now. Okay. Up and away! Oh, it's so good being able to just fly straight out of there. Going back in is, you know, if I'm being honest, it's a bit of an issue.